a lot of stuff's come out in recent months about PlayStation. What is PlayStation doing right now? Jason Schreier put out a great article about how Sony and PlayStation seem to have a obsession with, big blockbuster Hollywood style games, and that might hurt them in the long run. I know you have, opinions about that article, and you, I know you're a huge fan of Schreier, so I'll let you speak to that. But big news coming out of Jim Ryan. Apparently, Jim Ryan says that PlayStation has been quietly investing in PS5 exclusives, which, to me, it's like, I believe it. But at the same time, it's like, where's the proof in the pudding? I need to see it to believe it. So speaking to Nikkei, which I might be butchering that name, but it's a Japanese media source. Jim Ryan, the PlayStation boss, said that the company has been quietly investing in the creation of first-party software, and that it could pursue further merger and acquisition opportunities to bolster in its in-house development capabilities. He said, "We've been quietly but steadily investing in high-quality games for PlayStation, and we will make sure that the PS5 generation will have more dedicated software than ever before." Big claim.
Big claim, considering the strength of Sony's first-party studios.
Yeah.
And production.
So there's a couple parts to this PlayStation Got Games topic, but let's just dive into this one, Josh.
Okay.
So basically, let's talk about PlayStation, and their merger and acquisition move here.
Okay.
We've seen it with, Final Fantasy. The next Final Fantasy game is a PlayStation exclusive, seemingly.
Right.
So this isn't like, out of the ordinary. PlayStation's been making deals like this for a long time, but it sounds like this is going to be like super exclusive to PlayStation. They're developing it alongside Sony, essentially.
Yeah.
What are your thoughts? What do you think?
Listen, Sony already has super strong first-party stuff, right? And I think acquiring more studios, right, is a great idea, given the fact that at least initially, Sony is usually, from what I've heard, is really great, right, with fostering those first-party studios, kind of allowing them to do what they want, and providing huge fucking budgets for those games, right?
Yeah.
Where I take pause, and I don't know all the details, right, is, first of all, I think this statement from Jim Ryan is a direct correlation to that Schreier article and a lot of the heat that PlayStation's been taking the last couple weeks from that Bloomberg and Schreier article, where in that article, which, by the way, I do like Jason Schreier. I have some significant issues with this article, more so than other things, including the fact that he updated it to take names of people out of it that were calling him out for basically not knowing the full story, including ex people that were directors at Bend Studio. I have issues with the article. I'll leave it at that because it's not super relevant. But anyway, I take pause because I'm worried that if it is to be believed that PlayStation is not willing to take as many risks under Jim Ryan and specifically Herman Hulst too, these guys are not Shuhei Yoshida. They're not Sean Layden. They're not Andrew House, right? To me, they seem so much more corporate, and honestly, I kind of fucking find them disgusting, and I really don't like them as a fan. I think they don't communicate enough, and I think they're businessmen, which is not a problem, but I think they're kind of abysmal. That's just the kind of feeling I get. I look back at Sean Layden, right? Just the way that he spoke about games. And the proof is in the pudding, right? Because he was fucking... And Andrew House, right? Look at fucking Kojima's game. They were willing to be like, yeah, this is risky. But you know what? We're going to fucking double down. We're going to put money in it. It doesn't matter if it's a multi-million seller. Hey, there's a fan base here. There's a sect of gamers here that we can target. Let's release something for them. So that's it. I just take a little bit pause because I'm worried that they'll start acquiring some of these smaller studios, give them hope. They make one game. Maybe it isn't a multi-million seller. And then PlayStation's like, yeah, we're not going to fund another one of these. So you're going to go work on this other thing for like Naughty Dog, for example.
Yeah.
Don't do that.
I agree with you. I think that Jim Ryan is more so of a businessman. You could take him, you could pluck him out of PlayStation and put him in a completely different organization, in a completely different industry, and he would do just fine.
Yeah.
And just fine. Mm-hmm. He wouldn't do amazing. I think that he's a businessman first and, the boss of PlayStation second.
Right.
He's said things in the past that kind of like show his true colors. He was looking at, what game series was it? Forza or not Forza? It wasn't Forza. It was Gran Turismo. And he was at an event where people were playing like old Gran Turismo games, I believe. And he was like, why would anyone want to play these things? Look at the graphics, they're so bad. And a real gamer and a real, PlayStation head would have been like, that's our legacy. You know what I mean? That's a franchise that means a lot to our fans, and the graphics don't matter. It's the games themselves and the memories and the nostalgia that these gamers have for
the
it.
preservation aspect of it, which I know is another part of this story, like the PS3 and Vita store stuff, which is related to all of this, that they were closing it and now they're not because fans were like, hey, don't fucking do that. Anyway.
Yeah. So just to name a couple things that, Sony's done recently in terms of, merging and acquiring studios. They just bought Insomniac. Insomniac is a true first party Sony, studio now.
Right.
They always kind of were, a Sony studio with the Ratchet and Clank games.
Right.
But we did see them take a little dip over on, the Xbox side with Sunset Overdrive. And now they're back. Now they're back with Sony, exclusive this time for good. So, maybe we'll see more studios come out of the woodwork and get signed to Sony. Xbox is doing a great job right now. They're signing all these studios. PlayStation needs to catch up. And there was a recent leak, Josh. There was a big Capcom leak. And there was some stuff that came out about Sony and exclusivity deals with Monster Hunter World. I don't know if you caught this. Essentially, Sony paid to have Monster Hunter World, and I believe, well, maybe World, but definitely Iceborne, the DLC, come to PlayStation first. And they also paid for certain games to run better on PlayStation and for the games to be throttled on Xbox. So I think Sony needs to stop doing things like that, spending their money on things like that, truly are just hurting the game industry because you're letting less people play it. And they need to start investing their money in actual studios that are going to be making games that can make them money.
Well, compare that too, just to listen, it's no secret that we are PlayStation fans, right?
Yeah.
It's a platform that we favored for a while now. To me as a gamer, right? As a consumer, as a gamer, Xbox's philosophy of more access to more games for more people, I love that. Game Pass is the best deal in gaming. It's the best software thing, platform, whatever. It's the best thing in gaming right now, right? And PlayStation's losing to that. And that's fine, right? That's healthy competition. That's good. But don't be shady about it. Double down and figure out a way to compete, just like Xbox did. They fucked the duck on the Xbox One generation. They did, right? They had terrible leadership at the beginning of it. You know who I'm fucking talking about. We have a system for that. It's called Xbox 360. Go fuck yourself, Don fucking Cucktrick. And then they brought in Phil Spencer, and you see the total like paradigm shift of their philosophy. And guess what? It's working. It is working. People like it, right? So PlayStation needs to kind of catch up with that. And I'll echo a tweet that I sent out a couple weeks ago when this news and this article broke is, last gen's heroes are next gen's villains. And that, if some of these things are to be believed, that's fine. And I'm sorry, Jim Ryan, but I'm not going to take you at face value, my man. You haven't earned that. I don't trust you. I don't like you as a gamer. Herman Holst, I don't trust you. I don't like you. Okay? As a consumer, as a gamer, right? Totally not like digging into the probably more rational thinking side of that is that I don't like them in those positions. I don't find them appealing. And they really worry me. They really, truly worry me about the brand and what they're doing.
Yeah, and I think that we would maybe like them a little bit more if they were more open and actually doing things that the gamers want. Case in point, Josh, the PlayStation 3 and PlayStation Vita stores were going to be shut down.
Right.
And, they actually put out a blog post where they were like, hey, guys, we messed up. We understand that. We're going to keep the stores open for the current time being.
Yeah.
Who knows how long that's going to be? It could just be an extension of 6 months. It could be a year. Could be for even longer. But that kind of stuff shows goodwill towards the PlayStation community, and they actually care. And so I just think, like you said, Phil Spencer came in. He it was a paradigm shift in Xbox's culture and Xbox's marketing and Xbox's as a brand, who they are. I feel like we're seeing a paradigm shift with PlayStation as well, but for the bad, and it's with Jim Ryan. And if he wants to prove that he's cool and that he's, down the hang and that he's actually for the players, I think he needs to be more open. And maybe this statement from him, this statement that holds no weight whatsoever that I read at the top of the segment, maybe that's him trying. I don't know. But Josh, before we move on from PlayStation, there is one thing I want to talk about. A potential publishing partnership that was recently announced. PlayStation and Firewalk Studios are going to be publishing partners for a new original multiplayer IP.
Who's
and you assume
Firewalk?
that this is... I'll explain that in a second.
Okay.
So you would assume, Josh, that, this is going to be an exclusive, but we're seeing now PlayStation games on Xbox and on PC. Mm-hmm. So truthfully, I don't know if this is going to be a PlayStation exclusive, but it is a new original multiplayer IP that's being published by PlayStation. So Firewalk, who are they? They're a new development team that is part of the Probably Monsters collective of studios and was set up by former Bungie veterans. Now you're going to recognize a couple names here, Josh, and one you're not going to expect. Studio head of Bungie... Studio head of Firewalk is Tony Su, previously general manager and senior vice president of Destiny at Activision, game director Ryan Ellis, previously creative director at Bungie, and executive producer Elena Sigmund, previously of Irrational Games and Harmonix. So Josh and I know Elena Sigmund more for her music from the Call of Duty Zombies franchise. But Josh, she's actually been a producer of games.
Dude, I had no idea.
Destiny. Yeah,
I had no
so
idea.
She's tapped on here.
Wow.
Yeah.
Okay. That's cool.
So I don't know anything else about this original multiplayer IP, but it sounds like it's a lot of Destiny guys attached to it. Mm-hmm. So hopefully it's something cool. That's all I got for you.
Wow.
That's right.
Thank you for watching. Please like, comment, and subscribe. Josh and Bret really need you too. I love them. So do it. It would be a shame if you missed more of their videos. Hit the notification bell too, so you know when there is a new upload.